Whew. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the grand finale of the Shadow of Doom playthrough. We've picked up right where we left off with a couple of team alterations, and gonna be completely honest, I am a little bit nervous about how this is going to go. But I'm looking forward to see just exactly what happens. We have two really large fights up ahead of us. There is the, well, I guess you'll see as we get into them. We've got a couple of alternate skins on our characters as we're heading in, and there's no time like the present to get into our attacks here and take on some of these opponents. Hopefully we can take this guy down before he starts spitting any acid at us. Let's see if we can get Gamora in here with some of her heavier hitting abilities. And that was not one of them, but there we go. That was the one I was looking for. And it looks like the insectoid has gone down, which is good, because boy, do I not like fighting that thing. Anywho, I think we have a brief combat section here with a couple of additional enemies, and then we'll get into the next big boss character that we'll have to face off against. Ooh, let's see if we can roll around. And man, I'm so used to hitting that secondary ability there with Gamora. Or not with Gamora, but with other characters. And with Gamora, it's just not the greatest ability due to the fact of it being a barrage of bullets type attack. So I've really got to keep in mind that that's not the greatest option. Oh, he went down. Unfortunately, we didn't get off the ability synergy there, but we did that time, so that's going to take out hopefully the remainder of this guy before he revives and gets back up. And one other enemy hanging out back here. Let's get Ghost Rider in on this. Oh, nice little attack from him there. Man, I think I've been underappreciating Ghost Rider a little bit. But we're through this laser grid. And I don't think that there's any other chests, or at least none that I'm aware of. And as I say that, there's one hanging out right over here around the corner. So that's one that I've probably / possibly missed previously. And now, I think this is the room where we have, yep, a bunch of these Doom bots. And some of the nastier ones, too. Of course, he gets away. Okay, let's see if we can take you out before you revive and have a chance to use that rocket against us. Because I would like, well, unfortunately, we didn't get that off before that other guy launched his rocket. But fortunately, because he targeted one of my team members and not me, we were able to avoid a large chunk of that damage, because we do have reduced damage. Well, it's not a we thing, it's something that happens. There's a reduced damage outlet to characters not being controlled by you, which I think overall helps us out a fair amount. Okay, let's switch over to Ghost Rider here. See if we can... Oh, nope, nope. We've got a large-scale attack coming in here from a couple of these guys. I've got to get some ultimate abilities off, heal some of my team members up. And, okay, Ghost Rider did get a decent amount of health applied back over to him, which is really good because he was the one that was hurting probably the worst after getting caught up in 2 different explosion attacks there. Alright, I can punch the ground too, guys. Of course, my attack works a little bit different than the rest of y'all. Okay, good. And that's another thing that you can try and do is synergize these guys down before they cause trouble for you. Now, I probably should have left that rocket for one of the other rocket doom bots that come in, but if we play our cards right, we should be able to work it out. Oh boy. Alright, now we've got some insectoids coming in. Nice work there. And this is some of the more intense combat that I've really seen. Just because the enemies have such an increased health pool that it makes things really interesting. And falling aerial there from Falcon ought to do things quite nicely. Okay. Let's see if we can... Oh, nice. I guess that's kind of a dash attack, if you will. Oh boy. Okay, we've just got to get a couple of these extreme attacks off again. I was hoping to conserve them or hold on to them, but it doesn't look like that was going to be the case as much as I would have liked. Nice work there. I think it helps a little bit that we have a Guardians of the Galaxy synergy active. I don't know where that guy ended up, and I can't rotate my camera because I'm up against the wall. Oh, please, take this guy out. We'll conserve his rocket, or at least try to. Nice work there. Let's switch over to Ghost Rider. And Falcon ought to do decently well there as well. Looks like there's just a small handful of enemies left. Just 2 of them, it looks like, and both of them are over here. So we'll use a rocket on one. Thought that was going to take him out, but apparently not. And we've got one other guy hanging out here in the corner. And that ought to do it. So now on to the fights that actually scare me. Oh boy. At least I don't think we have another maze section, though I've been wrong. No, we do. We definitely have one more maze. So let's get Falcon back up here.
In the game. Glad you found some humor in the situation, Johnny.
Oh.
The Celestial is no joking matter. If Doom restores it to full power, the whole planet's in peril. That's just the beginning.
Okay. I'm really kind of focusing in here. Your best bet is going to be trying to roll around the larger explosions that happen. And trying to hug aside has seemed to be a decent tactic for me, but it does require a pretty severe amount of focus. Nothing hanging out around here. No supply boxes. I'm not certain if there's another one. There's definitely not here, because this is right as we're getting into, well, one of the fights that scares me, and that first one takes place right at the center point of this bridge. It's the Celestial, and he's terrifying. But if you know how to deal with him, you're not going to have too many troubles. And what you'll want to do is try and take out as many of these guys as you can, as quickly as you can. Okay, that guy got away from us, but... And now we can finish off the rest of these rockets. Oh man, this guy's taking a lot less damage than I recall. Okay, we're gonna detonate our extreme attacks here, because that's gonna be the best tactic for us, at least initially, because that Sentinel's getting really close, and he's making me very uncomfortable. Okay, we're gonna use this rocket. That ought to get him to back off, and it does. Nice work there from Ghost Rider. And then, if you can, I threw that crystal too early, but if you can, try and get a couple of these rockets in while he's stunned, because it'll deal a little bit extra damage. And then as soon as you see this animation starting up, you'll want to throw one of these antimatter crystals up at him, because that's going to reverse whatever healing he would have done. And if you don't get that off, then you're really going to be in a world of hurt, because he's just going to heal up all of that damage you just managed to deal to him. And I just flubbed that. Rocket toss. But we can get these next two and this last one, hopefully before... Okay, we've got another round of these insectoids coming through. And I'm going to hold off on using my abilities until we have, or my extreme attacks until we have a couple of these Sentinel, or Doombots with the rockets in here, to get as much damage in on them as we can. Okay, that takes out the Insectoid. Now we're going to need to make him back off with a couple of these rockets. Excellent work there. We can get another one in here. And maybe if we get another rocket or two, we can take him out before he gets back into that heal cycle. Does not look like that is going to be the case. So we're going to get that antimatter crystal off. It looks like we do have it, so now it's just a matter of staying alive. Yes, and we've managed to do that. So that's one terrifying fight out of the way. And now it's to the one that really scares me. The Doom fight. Oh, well, there's only one way out of here, and it's across this bridge. Thankfully, we get replenished after that fight, but this is where things really get kind of nasty. So we'll make our way into Doom's throne room. I'm just scanning around, making sure I'm not missing any other of these loot boxes, because I don't think that there are any left. Yeah, there's nothing to this side of the throne, nothing to that side of the throne, nothing up on the throne, nothing immediately behind it. And unless there's something on this little landing here, which, again, there's probably not. Can't even alternate your camera. So we are headed face long into one of the most agitating fights in all of Ultimate Alliance. And this scene will unfurl the terrifying glory of this fight. So here we witness Dr. Doom's transformation into God Emperor Doom. And is this an optimum setup? Far from it. But we're going to see if we can pull it off. All right. Here we go. You'll want to stay away from as many of his attacks as you can, especially these detonating aura spheres. But, oh, and you'll want to roll away from him anytime you see that this attack specifically starting up, or he's going to grab you and deal massive amounts of damage as a throwing grab. Now, you can break through that sphere. Odds are you're not going to, unless you are lined up perfectly right off the start of the fight. And he's going to detonate some Doombots here, so just stay back and away from him. Get the stun off if you can. Oh, Ghost Rider, what are you doing clear over here? And let's see if we can get in on him again. Now this attack is truly terrifying, because not only does it draw you in, but it triggers massive amounts of damage if you are not careful. Now again, I recommend just kind of getting off to the side, away from Doom during that attack specifically. And if you play your cards right with staggering him out, you can get him into his second phase, which it looks like we narrowly avoided. But now we've gotten him past that threshold where he's going to activate phase 2. And there are a couple of things that you really need to watch out for here. In particular, you want to watch out for his now team. And this is really the only time that you're on, I guess, equal footing with your opponent as what you have against them. Now, this attack here, you want to stagger him out as quickly as you can, because if you do not manage to take that out, you are going to get absolutely decimated. You're going to get absolutely decimated by a large-scale attack that takes up this entire arena. I think we took the Iron Man out, the Hulk's down. Oh boy. And Ghost Rider got stuck right in the middle of that tornado, which is unfortunate. Let's get a synergy attack in here. Thor's over here with his Mjolnir. That's not making things any easier for us. You'll want to watch out for any of those attacks as they come through. And another precautionary item, as I'm trying desperately to focus on what's going on, is anytime he revives, he brings back his team. Hulk likes to dash across the entire battlefield just like that, which is a devastating attack, especially when he gets lined up into those type of things. Now, we'll want to try and get as many of these attacks in while he's staggered out as we can. And I'm going to see if I can get Gamora back on her feet. It looks like I've managed to. Iron Man is all the way across the field, causing some problems. We've also got Hulk that's being kind of problematic. But as long as Cap and Thor remain down for a moment, and as I say that, Thor gets back on his feet. And maybe we've got enough damage in us to take him out. And we'll want to get out of the way of this again. Okay. This is where the rubber meets the road. We've either got to take him out here, or it's nothing. And we just managed to do it with a team composition that was absolute garbage. But that was the nature of the challenge in today's video. So I'm really happy that we were able to pull that off. And if you were playing through this for the first time on the ultimate difficulty, this is where you would unlock Thanos Infinite. So now you've got an understanding of what is cut out for you as you go into this fight. Oh boy. But we have pulled it off, and with not a moment to spare. So that's going to be where we call things off, and there will be a couple of interesting projects that I've got for this game in the coming weeks. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of those. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like on it as well. So thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.